you leave Memphis when Passion come. Now, what's next? Where you go after that? Victory. So you over there with Scott now.
Helping him.
Okay.
But I didn't last long. I stayed over there for a year.
Over there, my 1 year there.
Then that same year, they brought the Bluff City Classic back. Stanley Blue and Penny brought that back out of their generosity to bring some culture to this town because there's too much going on as it is right now in this city.
We need the Bluff.
We need it. Talk about the Bluff. Talk about the Bluff.
The Bluff. I wish it was summertime now. If I had the money, being a former Grizzly equipment manager, we was talking about that 3 or 4 years ago. We was talking about that, bringing the Bluff City Classic back, but it's gonna take a lot of manpower.
Right,
to bring that back.
It's gonna have to be a collective. You know, everybody gonna have to come
know
together.
Every hooper. I know all the hoopers, but I know all the hoops, but I know I got to get a connection somewhere
to touch them,
to combine it.
Gotcha. So you
and to find a site to do it.
Yeah, that's all. That's really what it is. A site to make sure, man, he's gonna be safe because Memphis so crazy right now, bro.
Because I remember Stanley Blue was telling some of the players in that locker room. He even got on them too as well. They want a safe atmosphere without drama. Cause it was sometimes in that Bluff it'd be too much drama, especially baby mamas and girlfriends. Cause I seen it all in the stands at Southwest, man. I seen all these pretty women. I wanted to flirt with
temptation.
I'm trying to flirt.
Man, I wanted to flirt with some of them myself. I was working at Bluff City Classic. It was fun. It was at the same time it was a family atmosphere.
Yeah, it was.
Even when some AAU teams come to town that want to watch some basketball, come to the Bluff. It's free.
Especially at when it was at Southwest, you got a chance to see all the biggest names from Memphis. They come in, even if it's for one game.
Yeah.
Even some overseas players will come and stay and play in the Bluff.
We had a few NBA players came through too.
Yeah.
You seeing Lorenzo Wright them and come on now, Penny them made the Bluff. Todd Day.
Todd Penny.
Quintel Woods.
My first Bluff was back in '99. Actually, I fell in love with it then. I was a 14-year-old kid watching them, going to them Southwest games. Well, back then it was Shelby State,
right?
But I said that summer in '99, I had a summer job working in the summer youth program.
Okay,
but I was at home just killing time, and at the time I was catch the Matter bus and go to Southwest to watch some games, and one of my friends hooped in the Bluff. He took me home.
Okay, so
that was the glory days in Memphis back then. The real glory days.
Bluff.
It was
the real one, yeah.
Because I met Manute and all of them back at that time.
Yes, sir.
The crazy part was they put Manute on the Celtics team because he had that KG look.
Yeah, South Memphis KG. Shout out my boy Manute.
The weird part was they put Manute in the Bluff because he had that KG look.
You had Victory. You leave Victory
and went to Southwest for a minute, a very hot minute.
Okay, and then you leave Southwest
and went to stayed at Lemoyne, but it was a blessing because Lemoyne just 3 blocks from my house.
Okay, so that was an easy transition. Then.
It was
okay. So
I could walk to my house from Lemoyne, just 3 blocks.
So I heard, I read in the paper, they say every team you come be a part of is like a winning culture starts to pick up.
I felt like I could bring a spark to that team.
Okay.
For sure.
And that's what it was, just a spark.
But you get to Memphis, you didn't experience a national championship. Like you in the national championship atmosphere.
But the weird part about that being back at home, Penny gave me that old school kind of job, to show those managers where I come from.
Okay. Talk about you going from all the colleges and you come back to Hamilton.
The Hamilton part, the coach, I will say coach, Todd Day was over here at the time coaching the 2 oldest Lawsons.
Okay.
Dietrich and KJ. I think he accomplished his goal in 2015. But he actually stayed in 2016. But I think he passed the torch to Will Smith.
Okay.
And I knew Will Smith, but I didn't know him that well.
Okay.
And I told Will, "Do you want? I want to come back home." But it was like my great escape from Lemoyne because I wanted to leave Lemoyne because I was over there 5 years.
Okay.
When you over there for 5 years, you reach your breaking point sometimes. And at that time, I felt like I want to come back to Hamilton. I could do like what Coach A and Coach Henry taught me to do.
Okay.
So it felt like that gym need my help once again. Whoever
was the coach.
After Coach Lawson left somewhere back in 08, 09, I knew Hamilton wasn't going to be the same.
Okay. So you come in, you ready to get back into that old Hamilton feel, you know?
Yeah, it was.
It was that same vibe.
It was the same vibe, but Coach Smith had let me do my thing.
Okay.
Make sure like the gym and stuff set up. And his mom was the AD, Miss Smith. She was a statistician.
I love them folks. Hey, let me shout out to Coach Smith. He the one got me over here.
Okay.
So good dude. Went to Colorado, coached college ball. Man, I'm talking about good dude. Like he on Will Smith sauce. So if y'all ever need some wings or something out there in South Haven, pull up at sauce.
And the FedEx Forum too.
In the FedEx Forum, like doing big things. Even
it's off Goodman and Airways.
Yep.
Okay.
Him and Miss Smith, like they legends. Like I love them folks. So shout out to them.
Go on.
You when you come back, what year is this? This the 2017, 2018 year?
2016.
2017. Okay.
So I was over here 2 years prior.
Okay.
Then he had the good part about it was when Todd was here, he was with Team Penny AAU. That's what happened. He had a bunch of Team Penny players on that team, like Montreal Brooks and Kevion Williams. Those two top guards, they play for Team Penny, and Contrail Boone, rest in peace on him. He was another Team Penny. But later, that following year, 2017-18 year, I think Trill and Wu, Kevion and Montreal brought that kid. He played for
Memphis now.
Nah, I forgot that kid. Poppy Johnson, Jordan Johnson.
Poppy.
His dad Mingo years earlier played at Memphis.
Gotcha.
Mingo played at Memphis. His dad. His mom went to Hamilton.
Okay.
Back in '93, his mom. Small world, but anyway, Poppy Johnson transferred from Central, came here, and then Penny. I actually had a player from East, but he wasn't getting no PT. This is the Puerto Rican kid, James D. Hayes.
I remember. Jesus.
Shoot the skin out there.
And then something told me then we looked at like a state championship team. We just needed a dominant big, but we looked at good then.
So you coming back to Hamilton?
Just those 2 years. 2016, 2018.
And then things started to turn around. Then you found yourself in the state championship in 2017, 2018. Just that 2017, 2018 year.
That's crazy though. Every time you come around.
You come around, it's like winning started.
It was, well, I didn't about to say that 2018 season, it felt, I didn't suspect it. That's what it was.
Okay. It was after.
Now, that was tough.
It was tough.
And Wooten was tough.
But we didn't know we was going to get that far, but we dominated. What happened was we were leaving from a AAA and dominated 2A. That's what it was.
And it was over from there.
Yep.
So you win that state championship, and I seen the picture you holding that trophy. Like, talk about that feeling. Like,
it was a great feeling. I could have had that feeling 10 years earlier when I was at Memphis if we would have won against Kansas. But I said, this is better than nothing. And at the same time, I told myself it was a great escape from Lemoyne because they were trying to keep me over there for
no championships over there.
You couldn't hardly win at Lemoyne, but no disrespect to Coach Anderson and his team. It was a good team, but it felt like it was just my time was calling. That's what it was, my time. And then it was like my great escape to come back to Hamilton before something bigger even happened.
What do you think what do you think is next? Like, what else can you do? Like in what you do, being a manager, like, what do you think is next? What
I told a guy this the other day. We all watched The Last Dance during the pandemic because we didn't have nothing going.
Right.
Even Michael Jordan said he want to stay with Phil to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I told myself I ain't going nowhere until Penny leave.
Okay.
I'd rather stick with it. Like my grandma always tell me, stick with something. Stick with that person.
So people don't know now. After the championship, you go to Memphis. You go with Penny. Did Penny call you, or how did that go?
Him and I talked. Actually, East was in the state championship also that same year.
Okay.
They beat Whitehaven.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, Penny was watching us play against some little school up east. And I told Penny, they was talking about Tubby's leaving Memphis, Tubby Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was on that radar talking about Penny getting that job.
It's gonna be Penny. It's gonna be Penny. Cause I remember he did the press conference at the tournament.
But he said at the time
he said he wasn't leaving. Right. Okay.
You don't know.
So you see Penny,
and I told Penny, the day you announce you be the coach of Memphis, I'd be honored to come back home. And I kept my promise, and I'm gonna just finish. And I made a goal out of it. After we won state here in 2018, I just stayed and finished the school year out in Hamilton.
Okay.
Make my transition to Memphis that summer.
So you got Penny give you the job?
Yes, I did. Yes, he did.
Talk about Penny as a person. You say you used to open the gym for him when he was, coming back. He was still in the NBA.
Right.
And now it's reversed. Now he the coach. And you back at Memphis. Talk about Penny, like how he is as a person.
He's very humble.
Okay.
Downright humble, homegrown, Binghamton. Well, it's two different. Well, I'm from South Memphis. He's from Binghamton.
Okay.
We both from the same. We both grew up in the hood.
Right.
He's a grandma's boy. I'm a grandma's boy.
Okay.
And I told him we both kind of like related, not like a blood related, but we both related. So we both grew up by our grandmas.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom wasn't there for me when I was growing up. She was
caught up in the streets.
Streets.
Okay.
And when I was a little kid, I saw the streets already coming in my home, in the house with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what she was doing. The good part was I was blessed I didn't influence with it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I kept my mind occupied.
That's good.
We all got that family member.
Yeah.
It's close by.
And I tell myself every day, I'm surprised I didn't get influenced with that.
Mm-hmm. Because it's easy. Especially in Memphis, we've seen a lot of people, go down.
Too much going on here.
And a lot of people jump out of things, and it can be a life changer, for the mental as well. Not even you going through it, just seeing the things, your mental, it'll mess your mental up too. And like you said, you remain focused through it all.
Right.
With you now being
But Penny, he it's just like his culture style. He'll get like we had Larry Brown last year, but due to his health issues, he had to step down. But anyway, he'll get like an old school. He'll bring somebody to old school because he's trying to get some experience out of it. But as a result out of it, I'm an old school equipment manager.
right.
I'm showing those student managers where I come from.
Mm-hmm. So you keeping them in line.
Yeah, keeping them in line.
You showing them the real how it's supposed to be done. No cutting corners. You showing them how it really supposed to be done. Okay. You how is Rasheed Wallace? Did you like Rasheed Wallace?
I got along with Rasheed. He was all right.
Okay.
He was cocky as hell, but he was all right. He was a huge cocky guy, but.
So you,
I said the weird part was I seen him in movies and even at Pistons and Pacers brought back in 2004. I knew he was cocky, but in person,
monster.
Yeah.
In person, in real life, I said he was full of energy.
Okay.
He'll make their Penny's players practice, make a hype up instead of being lazy.
You so you were a fan of Penny. Now you seeing Penny every day. Like, how was this? Is that like a dream come true for you?
It is. At the same time, I would say it got old, but it's not old. But at the same time, it's like a new beginning. But at the same time, it's just like with Scott Robinson when I was at Victory. You're working with your boss is your friend.
Right.
And he pretty much know who you are. And he trusts you. That's how that is.
Okay. So you a veteran in this
Equipment
manager game. Like
I grew into it.
Yeah. You'd have
After
been
20 years, 20-something years, 23 years at that.
23 years of experience. And Coach A put you in that position.
That's it.
Shout out to Coach A.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Coach A. You a real journeyman, Dave. You know, you done been to all the schools except Christian Brothers and Rhodes.
That's it. It's a journey.
For real. And you done seen a lot of hoopers. You done seen a lot of people in Memphis come and go. You done seen people fall off. You done seen people come out of nowhere, diamond in the rough. We want to give you your flowers today, bro. Like,
thank you.
You know, you got a following, a name. People, I never heard nothing bad about you. You know, they say you a loving guy, caring, helping. We need you to nominate one person you want to see, and you want them to tell their story on Ballers Only. If you could nominate one person, who would you like to see and hear their story? We need one, Dave.
I would say who had a big upbringing. I would say it's a lot. I make my number one prior. That's T-Head from BTW, Torian Boy.
We got to get T-Head.
It just popped out.
You want to hear T-Head on Ballers Only? We got to get
They
him.
did it. They also he has a documentary on Tubi.
Right.
I should watch it.
Yeah, go watch that.
Hey, we coming for you, man.
T-Head, we need you, T-Head, for real. Dave nominated you, so we got to do our part.
Yes, sir.
Super Dave, we're going to get up out of here. I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks
I
again,
enjoy your
too.
story. I read on you, did my research. Micey nominated you for I said,
he did it homework.
I said, let me do my homework and check my boy out, because I seen you.
Well, last week I watched it.
He hit me up, told me.
Okay. And you wanted to come
I had
on
a
yourself.
lot to tell.
Okay.
And today was that day.
Okay. We're gonna leave the youth with a message, or any message you want to get to the youth. We're gonna, I want to make sure every show we drop a jewel, put a couple jewels in the listeners' ear.
On my behalf, I would say, if you have a dream, just all you gotta do in life is just try. That's all.
That's right.
Stick with it.
Just stick with it. My grandma taught me that word. Stick with it. Just
stick with it.
It'll open doors. Trust me, it'll open doors. Just don't get influenced by your friends or the wrong crowd. Just keep your mind grounded.
That's right.
And occupied, and hold on to that dream. It will come. Right. Just be patient.
Right. We're going to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, X First Bonding. They're going to get you out before you dress out. Call T. The number will be in the bio. Like, share, subscribe. Ballers Only TV podcast. My co-host, Micey. Super Dave again.
The one and only.
One and only. We up out of here.